I was on fire alarm. How interesting. All right, time for a little conclusion on our road trip. So, as I said at the beginning of this series, we took the car on holiday to Belgium last year, and we drove 1,100 miles over a span of 5 days. Was I nervous? Yes, I was breaking it. Why? Well, anybody who has spent more than 5 seconds on the internet knows that the RX8 is extremely unreliable, right? That's the consensus online. You go online, you type RX8, that's all you hear about. We have taken the car, and we had taken the car on long road trips prior to that, but never abroad. And the car never really missed a beat. But still, I was like, am I going to get stranded, on the continent with a broken car? So I don't think I slept a lot prior to that trip, and yet the car did not miss a beat. We drove it on the hottest month of the year. We actually drove it through a heat wave, a temperature of 30 to 35 degrees. If you've been in Belgium or in England, when it's around over 30, it's unbearable. And just hot, really hot. And the car did not miss a beat. The car did not overheat. It got a bit hot at some point, but it did not overheat. Got stuck in a traffic jam in Brussels, 35 degree, ambient temperature, full sunlight on. No, car was fine. I counted. I wanted to know, and I counted how many broken down cars we would see along our trip. So the trip from England to Belgium, the 3 days roaming around there, and then the trip back home. And we counted 21 cars broken down on the side of various roads and motorways. And we're talking, it went from the banger to the luxury German Swiss saloon. The RX8 though did not miss a beat, so that gave me the confidence to do it again this year. And so we did. We drove over 1,000 miles over 7 days, and nothing went wrong. My confidence was shattered a little bit before we went though. I was fully semi-confident everything would be all right. And a couple of weeks before we were supposed to depart, I had some upgrade done to the car. So I went to Boston Rotary, and I had a Rocket Dog racing radiator put in the car, an expansion tank purchased from Petit Racing, as well as some silicone hoses from Petit Racing. I had that upgrade done. It's getting hot. I just want the car to be, working and being cooled as intended, as needed. It was raining a lot. It was toward the end of July. Rained a lot in England. Went to see some family members a couple of days later. Car running fine. I kept on checking the coolant, level. Have I got a leak? And nothing. All good. Had a cup of tea. Came out. Got in the car. Engine management light on. Limp mode. Parked around the corner. Plugged the OBD reader in. Oil metering pump fault. I was like, oh God. So I reset the code. If there's really a fault, you won't be able to erase the code, but I've reset the code. It went away. I reset the ECU just in case. I drove home. I went straight on the UK Owners Club forum, and I had a good cry. And most of the guys were like, listen, if there was really a fault, the car would not kick out of limp mode. So either you had maybe a little bit of coolant going onto the OMP, the oil metering pump's connection, when the radiator was changed, or it's been raining, it's been pissing it down, a lot of water on the road, maybe a drop just ended up there. A glitch, a little gizmo, shouldn't worry too much. I contacted the guys at the performance shop down south. They always have a fair amount of parts available. And I purchased a second-hand oil metering pump. A new brand new oil metering pump costs an absolute fortune. I don't think there are any aftermarket suppliers for them. It looks like it's only Mazda built, and therefore they kind of dictate market prices. And yeah, you wouldn't want to have to buy one brand new, but I mean, if you have to, you have to. I managed to get one second hand, and we went to Belgium with a spare part in the boot, just in case. I'm not sure the RX8 was sold in Belgium, but I was like, if I have an issue there and I drive to a Mazda dealership, and I was like, right, that's broken, that's a new one, can you just straight swap? They should be able to do it. But I tell you what, there was no need to worry. It was just a glitch, you know, quirky car after all. It was just a glitch. The code didn't come back, the fault didn't come back. The car drove beautifully. So again, no issues. What else can I tell you about the car and how it behaved in for our trip to Belgium? For 2 years in a row now, on motorway from England to Belgium, I've achieved fuel consumption of 27 miles per gallon. So 27 UK miles per gallon, it's 10.5 litre per 100 kilometer. So it's not a diesel, you know, that's not your typical TDI. However, as far as a rotor engine goes, it's not bad. And that's driving at motorway speed in England and driving at motorway speed, the European way, in Belgium. So, you know, I wasn't crawling on the slow lane at 40 miles per hour either. Everyday commute, take the car for a family road trip in England, or you know, you go to the shop, you drive around. I usually achieve 21 miles per gallon, so 13.5 litre per 100 kilometer. So that's not bad either. Fuel consumption was higher this year in Belgium itself because we drove a lot on the edges of the Ardennes and then in the Ardennes themselves, and obviously that's a hilly region. I wouldn't call it a mountainous region, but a hilly region, and when you're going uphill with a rotary engine, you need to whip it. One, because there's absolutely no power or torque low down, and two, because that's a pretty fun car to drive on that type of road. So obviously then the fuel consumption, like with any car, if you start having a bit of fun, there's a price to pay at the pump. Oil-wise, again, every time you talk about an RX8 with people, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is epic seals, and the second thing is, oh my god, oil, gallons of oil. First thing is, the engine is designed to burn oil. There's actually, the OMP, the oil metering pump, is designed to take oil from your oil sump or your SON kit or clean oil feed kit and inject it into your combustion chambers. So yes, it burns oil. It's designed to burn oil. The other thing is that oil consumption is directly tied to how heavy your right foot is. It's as simple as that. So last year, 1,000 miles, I went through 500 milliliter of oil. This year, 1,000 miles, I went through 750 milliliter of oil. That's because this year I was pushing the car a little harder. You know, going up and down mountain hills and hairpins, and you know, going uphill toward the highest point in Belgium, and you just climbs continuously for 10 minutes. It's been hot as well, you know. There you go. And those values, half a litre of oil last year per 1,000 miles, just over, you know, three quarter of a litre of oil this year over 1,000 miles. They've been delivered in my car by modified rates of you know, oil dispense. 2 years ago, I went to RX8 Rotary, and they basically did a stage 1 reflash of my ECU. It does a couple of things, lowering the temperature trigger at which, you know, the radiator fan kick in, but it also increases oil dispensing rate on the OMP for extra lubrication. So those values, roughly 500 milliliter per 1,000 mile, are, you know, they come out of a car that is modified to dispense a little bit more oil than it would otherwise. So if you drive your car normally, you should get figures slightly lower than mine. Obviously, if you drive all the time like your pants are on fire, or if you race the car, they'll be much higher. But this is what it is. Temperature-wise, the car was on a motorway always in between 85 to 89 degrees Celsius, which is not bad, considering that your thermostat opens at 83. However, going uphill or being in town, straight away it went from 93 to 96 degrees centigrade. It's hot out there, you are stuck in traffic, there's not much airflow going through your engine. Obviously the car isn't going to like that. Pretty happy with the Rocket Dog racing radiator. However, those temperatures would drop back down to normal values as soon as the car picked up speed, or as soon as the road leveled up. So here you go. I like the RX8. You know, it's a fantastic car for long distance driving. It is a surprisingly comfortable sports car, long distance driving. It's at home on twisty little B roads, we all know that. It's where it excels, but it is pretty good on a motorway. And if you haven't modified your car, you know, the suspension, the mounts, the exhaust or whatever, the only noise filtering into the cabin at cruising speed is rolling noise, your tires, you know, nothing else. It's a really nice car for long distance driving if you can foot the fuel bill. The boot is big enough for 2 adults to go on holiday for a week. We had all the hardware for filming in the car. We had some goodies I wanted to bring to my mum. We had casual clothes, we had hiking clothes, we had a bit more posh clothes or formal clothes because we went to a wedding, and it all fit. Don't expect to fit suitcases in the boot, but duffel bags all day long. Absolutely no issue, no mechanical problem, no mechanical fault. The car worked flawlessly. I hope this, if you have any fears, or, you know, about buying an RX8 because you've heard about reliability, well, I've had the car now near enough 3 years. It's never let me down, it's never let me stranded. I had sometimes some quirks popping here and there, but I never had a serious fault. The car has never stopped working. It's never broken down, touch wood, but here you go. I will do some series about upgrade, what can go wrong with the car, what you can do to mitigate those odds, and so on and so forth. I intend on populating this this YouTube channel with a fair bit of video about the car. Bear with me, obviously, I'm not a pro, but we'll take it from there. Thank you very much for following. I hope you enjoyed this series so far, and I hope to see you soon down the road. Take care, bye.